Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to Days of Halloween, presented to you by The Fall Horseman. I am Chris Jones, and I'm here to present you with the October 7th, 2020 edition. Let's get right to our movie recommendation, shall we? In the category of classic horror movie, we have The Ring. This movie came out in 2002, and it is based on a Japanese novel named Ring by Koji Suzuki. There was a movie made from that novel for Japanese audiences in 1998, and of course, the English language version came out in 2002. The story is about investigation of a death of a teenage girl who died after watching a cursed videotape. Anyone who watches the tape receives a warning of only 2 words, 7 days. And our main character, who is played by Naomi Watts, watches the tape herself to get to the bottom of what causing these deaths and what this curse is all about. Yeah, it's very suspenseful, very dark, directed by Gore Verbinski. You might remember Gore Verbinski for having directed 3 of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, including Curse of the Black Pearl, for which he received a nomination for a Saturn Award for Best Director. He also went on to direct the 2013 movie The Lone Ranger. Can't win them all, I guess, but I digress. What really strikes me about this movie is, believe it or not, it's the cursed video itself. It's just some disturbing imagery, but mostly it's just dark, random stuff. And what fascinates me about it is its imagery that's very similar to something I would see in my own dreams or my own nightmares. So it kind of disturbs me and fascinates me at the same time, if that makes any sense. And I also had the chance to see this in the movie theater with the big reveal at the end. Yeah, if you didn't get a chance to see that in a crowded movie theater, well, that was a fixed point in time that will never come back. But still a very good movie. I think it still holds up to this day. Just don't answer any phone calls while you're watching the movie, and be sure to turn that TV off at night. In the category of underrated horror movie, I selected The First Power from 1990. This movie stars Lou Diamond Phillips, and it has a strange, if unfounded, premise. It's predicated on the notion that both God and Satan have the ability to grant mortal beings with 3 powers. The third power is the ability to possess a human body, presumably not your own. The second power is the ability to see the future. And the first power, from which the movie gets its name, is resurrection. The movie begins as we see a Satan worshiper has been given the first power by Satan. He is a serial killer named Patrick Channing. He is caught due largely to the efforts of Detective Russell Logan, played by Lou Diamond Phillips. And he is detained, he is tried, he is put on death row. And as he's on his way to death row, he looks at Detective Russell Logan in dramatic fashion and says, "See you around, buddy boy." He is given the gas chamber, he is put to death, and that closes the case. The only problem is these serial murders start happening again, and Logan is seeing and hearing Channing everywhere. So really creepy, lots of spiritual undertones there. He teams up with a psychic who helps him presumably defeat Channing. He receives help from a kind of eccentric nun, and she offers her assistance on the spiritual side of this hunt. Story wise, it's really loose, but it's kind of a fun movie. Critics were not kind to this movie at all. I think it's currently at 51% on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that, but I think it does a good job of keeping you guessing who's going to die next, keeping you in suspense, despite having some really tropish depictions of police and religious figures alike. I think it's worth at least a watch. It's definitely in the B movie category, so don't be expecting, Scorsese here. In the category of in-between movie, we have the Tim Burton classic Beetlejuice. This is easily one of the best, if not the best, Michael Keaton role ever. Comedy in this movie is great. It is star-studded. It's got Alec Baldwin, Keaton, Winona Ryder's breakout role. It's kind of a ubiquitous movie. There's very little I can tell you. This was one of the first movies where we got to see Tim Burton's signature visual style of things being dark and distorted. It's a fun movie. I can't say that enough. It's an in-between movie, in my opinion, because some of the themes of death and murder and even suicide is mentioned a time or two. Young kids might be bothered by it, depending on how sensitive they are. So it's a great movie for teenagers and older. Beetlejuice. Don't say the name again. And finally, in the category of kids' Halloween movie, I chose Casper from 1995. I saw this movie several times in the theater. theater. I enjoyed it a lot. It stars Eric Idle for some reason. Kathy Moriarty. Our main characters are played by Bill Pullman and a young but post-Wednesday Addams Christina Ricci. The story goes, this horrible woman, played by Kathy Moriarty, inherits this manor that, of course, Casper and his three uncles are haunting. There is a map to some kind of treasure somewhere within the manor, but she can't get in there because the uncles just absolutely play havoc with anyone who tries to get in. There's some cameos from some people that she brought in to help with this situation before our main characters show up, including cameos by Dan Aykroyd in his Ghostbuster persona. And we also get to see Father Guido Sarducci. If you don't know who Father Guido Sarducci is, yeah, it might be worth a Google. I'll leave that up to you. Bill Pullman plays a psychiatrist for the dead who moves into the manor with his daughter in an attempt to talk with these ghosts to find out what they want and help them with their so-called unfinished business. And it's a fun movie. I know I say that a lot, but no, it really is a fun movie. Kids will enjoy it. It's funny, and I highly encourage you. You can't really go wrong with Casper from 1995. Did I mention that movie was based on a classic comic strip character, Casper the Friendly Ghost? I guess that's important information, but you probably knew who I was talking about. Today's haunt is the 13th floor in San Antonio, Texas. Now, the 13th floor has haunted houses all over the country. In fact, USA Today ranked them at one time among the top 5 scariest haunted houses in the nation. But the one in San Antonio is the one that really got the attention of the Fall Horsemen. Sells out very quickly. It's very huge for folks in the area there. They are open this year with limited capacity. This is a haunt that has 2 levels. There's like a basement level. It's kind of an underground cave type scenario, and they call that Unearthed. The upper level is kind of your more traditional Gothic haunted house. There's a trailer out there for it on their website and on YouTube. The actors in this thing look just absolutely terrifying. Of course, this is 2020, so they are doing limited capacity. If you're going to get those tickets online, you better move on them because they are going to sell quickly. Go check it out, and if you're in the area, go get your tickets. What are you waiting for? I mean, finish watching this video and then do all the stuff. Then go to 13th floor, San Antonio, because it's awesome. Well, that is going to do it for October 7th, 2020 for Days of Halloween here at the Fall Horsemen. If you would, please go ahead and like the video, click the bell, wherever that is. Type us a comment, because I know some of you are already typing comments about The Ring, telling me that the Japanese version is better. And you know what? You might be right. Tell me all about it in the comments. A lot of you tell me, fight with each other. Okay, don't fight with each other. Have a civil discussion. Tell us what you think. And of course, you want to subscribe to this channel. Show the Fall Horsemen, James and Jessica, show them love. Support us here. By the way, I am Chris Jones. I am one of the hosts of the Nerd Bliss podcast. If you have any desire to hear me talking more for some reason, go check out my show at nerdblisspodcast.com. But until then, thank you for watching us here on the Fall Horsemen, where Halloween lives and fall is forever. I subconsciously hold my breath. I don't know why I do that. That a mermaid fin back there? Our first movie for whose name? Story of including the actor completely slips in my mind. Excuse me. That anyway, pretty interesting. If